In the past 8 years, again, with the Bush administration, there's been some legislation off and on. We've seen some major things come down the pipe. But with the recession issues, the federal government has gotten very heavily into regulating a number of things. They've been expanding family and medical leave. If you have over 50 employees, that's going to be important for you to know, and there's some information in the newsletter on that. They are looking at expanding the COBRA subsidy. Are you all familiar with the COBRA subsidy out there? They keep thinking they're going to get that done before the end of the year. But because of all the wrangling, what would not surprise me is if they don't get it done until early next year and make it retroactive. So what that means is you need to be paying attention if you've got employees who are involuntarily separating or they're laid off or other reduction in hours causes them to lose benefits. Make sure you keep track of who these people are and where they are, because you may have to go chase them down with the COBRA subsidy information in a month or so. And when the original COBRA subsidy went into effect, that's what folks had to do then, too. They were scrambling to go find people. So we're looking at more of that coming down the line. The federal government is also looking at, I think it's upward around 5 different bills right now that would add to regulations on leave of absence issues, including a number of bills that are looking at requiring employers to provide paid sick leave. A lot of that's been pushed heavier now because of the swine flu issues, because a lot of employees are going, well, if I don't have paid sick time, I'm coming to work even if I do have the swine flu. So there's a bill right now that's trying to push for paid time off if somebody has a any illness that can be spread, a communicable disease. And so we're looking at that, but they've been pushing for some paid sick leave bills for a number of years now, and those have been bouncing around anywhere from 5 to 10 days of paid time off for illness, and that some of that is even for part-time employees. So you do want to keep up on that. Now, we're also looking at all of the legislation, the proposed bills, and the fighting in Congress over the health care initiatives, as we all know. And one of the things I think to be careful about understanding as you're following this, you're going to hear 20 different versions of this thing between now and when it ever passes, not counting all the versions that have gone on before now. One of the interesting things that they have been talking about is the Cadillac tax. How many of you heard about that? Right, where they're saying, okay, if you're an employer and you're providing your employees really, really good benefits, we're going to tax those and deter you from doing that. And you might go like, this is really crazy. Why would anybody deter an employer from providing really good benefits? And I gotta let you know, makes sense when you realize one category of employer who's exempt, one benefit that's exempt, which is if it's a union benefit plan, those won't get taxed. Yeah, you're kind of getting it? It's payback in terms of we want, the unions heavily supported the Obama campaign, and there's a lot of legislation out there. They even have one called the Patriotic Employers Act, which you're a patriotic employer, you're going to get some tax breaks if you do not take any action if there's a union organizing drive in your company, for example. Okay? There's a lot of stuff like that floating around Congress. And one of the things here with the Cadillac tax is if your health plan is not a union health plan and it's a good health plan, you're going to get taxed. That's to give the unions one more tool to be able to say we should unionize your workplace employees because you'll get better health benefits. Because right now, the employers have been doing a pretty good job offering good pay and benefits to non-union employees. So it's an interesting thing to just kind of keep in mind what's really going on here. And of course, as they send out more and more details of the health care initiatives that are going on, more and more employers are responding to surveys that if this or that version of this passes, they're going to cut employee health benefits. Not only because they become more expensive, but again, if the government's going to start picking up the tab, if the employer has to provide benefits and pay for the government to provide them to everybody else, I mean, what would you do? If you had to buy your own and pay for somebody else, and they told you, well, you could just let them pay for you, what would you do?